Following an absolutely clinical Irish performance, I'm going to be rating each of the players and giving them a score out of 10, as well as picking my overall man of the match. Now, when a team scores nearly 60 points against not necessarily quality opposition, but a strong team in Tonga, it's going to be very difficult to try and pick out where they could have improved. But let's get started. So look, I'm starting the front row as always, and I'm going to give Porter an 8, Kelleher an 8.5, and Furlong an 8. Now, an 8 is probably quite a harsh score considering the scoreline. I just felt a lot of the success necessarily didn't come from the front row. I thought they were solid. I don't think they got huge amounts of success over Tonga. I mean, they were dominant in scrum and got some scrum penalties. Well, actually quite a few on reflection. But Tonga did get a couple scrum penalties themselves and a couple free kicks. So that's the only reason why I can really knock the props down. The scores do pick up in the second rows, where I'm giving Byrne a 9 and Ryan an 8.5. Look, Ryan was amazing in the line-out, nicking line-out ball. Byrne was also. Byrne obviously got his try. Beautiful finish. Run a really nice support line, which you have to say from forwards, if they're running these support lines, considering all the responsibilities of the physicality and line-out scrum that they have to do, if they're running these lines also, it really does show that they are sort of a real quality player, and they've got the fitness levels to do so. Like, if you look at someone like Byrne and you compared him to a sort of a South African R.G. Snyman or an Etzebeth, he's quite a bit leaner, probably got a better engine, a bit more fit. So yeah, that definitely complements his style. And as I said, both these locks were huge in line out and good around the park also. Now, moving into the back row, I'm going to give Peter O'Mahony the lowest score of the whole team at 7.5. Look, really good, really solid performance from O'Mahony, as you'd expect. He did get a yellow card, so that's the only reason why I can push it down. And if you're against better opposition than Tonga, they probably do make more out of the yellow card. I believe they've got 10 points during that time, so a good chunk of their points. Obviously, they scored directly after the O'Mahony yellow card, and then they got 3 points in the start of the second half. So, look, probably harsh on O'Mahony, but if you get a yellow card, then that justifies it slightly. Now, moving on to Josh van der Fleer and Caelan Doris, 8.5 for both of them. I thought they were both brilliant. Caelan Doris crossed the whitewash also. Josh van der Fleer, potentially there's more to come from him. I think as we see better opposition, you'll see him sort of rise to the challenge. Quality as always. I felt like he could have been over the ball a little bit more. I mean, I'm talking like minor improvements, because, as I said, 60 points is quite hard to criticise the team. Doris and Josh van der Fleer both run such hard and just lines in which defenders have to commit to. They create so much space for all of the other backs just because the defenders can't move off of them and focus on the backs, because they both run with such sort of intent and power. Moving on to the back line, Conor Murray, 9.5. I was massively impressed with Conor Murray today. Outside of the box kick which got charged down, that's probably why he loses half a point. He was just phenomenal. Box kicks were constantly on the money, put Ireland in the right parts of the field to play, sniped when he needed to. When the back line of Tonga shot up, he wasn't afraid to take the space, and that obviously results in the team reducing their line speed because they know the nine's a threat also. We always know Conor Murray's a brilliant box kicker, but the thing that usually sets Gibson Park away from Conor Murray is that running game. So look, we saw Murray involve that a little bit more today. Got his hands free through contact a couple times, and yeah, he looked dangerous. So look, very impressed with Conor Murray, and look, he's got a hell of a lot of experience now, 2 Lions tours, and really is worth his weight in gold in that Ireland team. And look, I still think Gibson Park will start, but look, bringing a 2 Lions tour scrum half off the bench is just huge for that team, experience-wise. Also, Sexton, I'm going to give him a 9. He came off quite early in the match, but he only needed sort of one half to show how good he was. Once again, bags a try, which for Sexton, he's got, 3 tries in 2 games now. For a fly half, especially a 38-year-old fly half, he's certainly showing no signs of slowing down. Yeah, once again, brilliant off the kicking tee, not much to criticise. If I had to pick something, I'd say opposing to some other 10s like Libok, I don't say George Ford, because I wouldn't put George Ford in the same sentence as Sexton in terms of career achievements, but I would say George Ford in this sentence. In terms of kicking to touch, I felt Sexton was quite conservative. His sort of kicks were going sort of 30 metres off of the pitch, maybe not 30, maybe 20 metres off of the pitch. And when you're playing against South Africa, in where the margins are so fine and you have to fight for every metre, potentially I'd like to see Sexton bite off a few more metres with the kicks to touch. But look, that's a very minor criticism. And yeah, it was phenomenal today. Moving into the centres, Bundyaki, just phenomenal, 9.5 to Bundyaki, and Ringrose 8.5. Bundyaki just huge for Ireland. It's as simple as that. He's the player in which just generates the momentum. He's the hard runner that can really kickstart any attacking set piece. He's against a very physical centre partnership with Fekitoa in it also, so he had to be on his game, and he really turned up and performed well. Bags another couple tries. I think that's a brace on consecutive weekends for Aki. So look, you can't just limit him to being a powerful ball carrier when he can do so much more than that. Brilliant hands and good pace also. So look, I'd say in the last year, Bundyaki is someone in which I'm so impressed with and has really come under the radar in terms of my perspective. Look, if you're from Ireland and you follow Connacht and the leagues, then look, you probably won't be surprised. But as an Englishman, only really picking up on some of the big games in Irish rugby, and then obviously the big tournaments, he's really shone for me. Ringrose, he was very disappointed with himself when he didn't quite dot down a try in which he probably should have. But look, impressive as always. Been a little bit quiet of late. I think defensively he did well today. You can't underestimate the size of some of these Tongan players, so the Irish did put himself about. So yeah, good showing from the Irish centres. Now onto the back three. I'm going to give Lowe an 8.5, Hansen a 9.5, and Keenan a 9.5. Now, look, a lot of 9.5s I've given out in this back three, but they were very much deserved. Let's start off with Lowe. Solid performance from Lowe. Solid is a bit of an understatement. Very good performance from Lowe. He's a bigger winger than most, so look, he didn't look too big against Tonga, but look, in general he's a big winger and he can use his size quite well. Look, his left boot is just something to behold and is a real asset for Ireland, and he showed that once again in this game, really doing well to turn a physical and rather large Tongan forward pack, which probably constituted in why there was so many tries in the game. Ireland really kept the tempo high and moved Tonga around the park. So look, the kickers do have to take a bit of credit for how open the game was and how it really slowed down the forward pack of Tonga. Now, talking of kicking, I would say Hansen was the best kicker on the pitch in this game. Absolutely phenomenal. 50-22s from him and Keenan. Look, Hansen, I would definitely say I've underestimated him. Look, when we talk about with my friends about the Irish team, I've always sort of gone towards, look, every player is very good, but I'd say Hansen is probably least deserving of his spot. But that is just such a deluded opinion now. Hansen, for me, has shown aerially world class. Maybe not defensively world class, but a good defender. And he scored a try that just should never have been scored. Like, there's 4 Tongans covering, cuts back inside and scores. Just phenomenal. He just came from right on the touchline and then scored the try almost under the sticks. Look, it was just absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, to be honest. And look, you've got good covering defenders coming over. It's not like he's playing a Romania or a Namibia where you'd expect him to be, stepping players, etc. He was turning the likes of Charles Piutau. So look, brilliant finish from Hansen. 50-22s galore. Just intelligent rugby from him. Good on the kick chase. Also, Keenan at fullback, he had one moment where he got absolutely skinned from Charles Piutau. But after that, he put some solid tackles on Piutau and did himself proud. Aerially, phenomenal once again. An absolutely gifted footballer. Unreal with his feet. He will catch a ball just inside his own half. He'll know not to step across that line and then kick a 50-22. When, look, Harvili was covering across, he didn't even get near it. The precision on some of this Irish attacking play and kicking game, once again, was phenomenal. And if any of these players fancy coming over to the Gallagher Premiership, playing here for a few years, will happily have you for the next World Cup. I'm sure there'll be a reasonable cash prize from the RFU, and I'll probably give you 50 quid anyway, because I would love to have any of these Irish players playing for England at the minute. Now, yeah, phenomenal performances all over the park. If I had to pick let's do an Irish forward man of the match, I'd probably give it once again to Byrne. so circle his name. In the back line, I'm torn between Murray and Hansen. Considering Hansen's been playing some quality stuff and Murray potentially shone above expectation, I'm just going to give it to Conor Murray. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal and did incredible. Now, although Tonga did get completely outplayed, I'm just going to give him a little bit of a mention in terms of some good performances. Harvili did very well, brilliant off the boot, didn't miss a single kick at goal, and very good asset for Tonga. Aki in the midfield, not Bundy Aki, but the other Aki, was strong, did some strong carrying and was quite physical. Once again, some of the areas of kicking was just aimless, but you have to give him credit for what he did do well. Fafita, the number 8, was probably their standout player. I believe he went down with an injury earlier in the first half, and he bounced back and really did show that he's a very physical player and executed some quality stuff. On the sort of the worst performers in the Tongan side, I don't really like to single people out, but a player that probably was a little bit underwhelming to my expectations, Solomon Nakata. I watch him play week in, week out for what was Exeter. I believe he's moving to Leicester in the Gallagher Premiership. I suppose you have to give him a little bit of leniency because he's gone from centre to the wing for Tonga, but I just don't feel like he stepped up. I mean, he's one of the most experienced players, and plays at one of the highest level. Kicks out on the fall from him, aimless kicks into the midfield. I feel like he, in terms of where his ceiling is, he's got a huge potential, and he just didn't quite meet that tonight. But look, they're playing an incredibly good Irish team, in which is just simply phenomenal. So I don't blame them. There you go, that wraps it up. I'm going to give the overall man of the match to Conor Murray. Excellent performance from the 2 Lion. And let me know what you think of all of the players' performances in the comment section down below. I apologise for giving 8s to Porter and Furlong, but I just thought I can't keep writing down 8.5, 9 and 9.5, so there you go. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Get back to all of you as I always do, and thank you very much for watching.